So some of you I've explained this story to, actually very few. When I first bought the Triumph Sprint RS, I brought it home on a Tuesday. I think it was on a Tuesday. And I drove it home actually in the rain. And it was filthy. It was an out-of-state motorcycle, so I had to get a VIN inspection done in order to start the whole process for registering it in the state of Ohio. And it was a Tuesday, and I on that Saturday I took it out and I washed it all up, got it all clean, sparkling, and then I had to drive it over to the BMV in order to get that VIN inspection done. And I'd only had the bike basically for 4 days. I had called the insurance company and had it put on my insurance and everything. And I went to go drive it around the corner from my house. And I had a Ninja 250 before this. So I was kind of used to a certain type of throttle input, especially pulling out from a stop sign. And the way I tell a lot of people is that my throttle hand, it was kind of still stuck in 250 mode. And basically what happened was I was at a stop sign, I was making a left-hand turn from the stop sign, pulling out. And I gave it way too much throttle. And this had happened to me one time already on the way home when I had it. And fortunately that time I was pulling straight out onto the road. So it didn't really cause me a whole lot of issues. Unfortunately, this time I was making a left-hand turn. The problem with that was you can't take a 100+ horsepower engine, give it as much throttle as I did. I was giving it the amount of throttle that I would give my under 40 horsepower Ninja 250. And basically, I knew what I had done almost right away, but instead of lifting on the throttle or pulling in the clutch a little bit in order to pull down the power a little, I did what I would normally do on my 250, which was increase my lean angle, which, so a host of mistakes here that I was making. I did pretty good on not object fixating, and I definitely was looking where I needed to go instead of what I was trying to avoid. But my problem was not necessarily, object fixating. It was the fact that I was giving it way more throttle than what it needed. And when I increased my lean angle and tried to ride it out, I basically low-sided it. Although it wasn't really truly a low side, I just burned the rear tire right out from underneath me. And the road surface was not the greatest for this either. It was not like a traditional pavement. It had been chipped and sealed. So it was already kind of a odd thickness to it, which made it probably even a little bit more slick as opposed to a regular pavement. And basically I went down on the, it'd be the left side of the bike. First of all, damage to me. Damage to me was I got a little bit of road rash. A little bit of road rash on my knee. A little bit of road rash on my knee and my shoulder. I think I don't know if you've ever jammed your finger really good. I probably jammed my finger really good. Or not my finger. Oh my gosh. Jammed my shoulder really good. And I had a bump. And I still have a bump on my shoulder from this. As far as like the damage to my bike, there's a little bit of stuff left over there on the clutch lever. There's a little bit of a scuff on the bar end, which are really beautiful bar ends, and I felt bad about that, but it's barely noticeable. The clutch, or the gear pedal, this basically snapped right off, right in here, approximately, and it bent. The gear shifter was pretty badly bent. This was bent on the kickstand, although the kickstand seemed to be fine. And then you can see the scrapes on the passenger left foot peg. You can see the scrapes on that. The scrapes on this actually saved the back part of the fairing, because it basically rode on this, and then this is a fairing I found finally on eBay that I ended up winning. The damage to my fairing at the time was this was pretty well scraped right in here. It had actually worn the plastic down, and then it had scraped all the paint off in this area, and there were miscellaneous scuffs and stuff all over the RS. My left turn signal survived, although it blew the light because I had my turn signal on at the time, and this lens popped out. I was able to pick up all the pieces and actually glue it all back together with like super glue. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a rough area underneath there. And then this magnesium engine cover right there had a significant amount scraped out off of it, and I actually bought a new one of those and put that on. I bought a new linkage here for the gear shift mechanism, and I actually straightened this out. I broke it when I was trying to straighten it, and then I just glued it back together. So that's basically what happened with that, and that was a tough day because I'd only just bought the motorcycle. I mean, I'd only had it for like I said, 4 days, and then to have that happen, it was pretty disheartening, honestly. But it's pretty much all fixed up now. You know, they say it's not if, but when. But I really thought that I was, not that I'm never going to have an accident or be perfect my whole life, but I really thought it would be, you know, one of those deals where it was somebody else's fault, you know, instead of my own boneheaded move. But as a moral to the story, I guess I would say if you're going to go from a small bike to a big bike, treat it like it's the first time you got on your first bike, and that's basically what I did when I started riding it. Was I basically rode around my area, my neighborhood, in a very similar manner to what I did when I bought my 250, and just kind of went through the gears, did a lot of starting and stopping, and really tried to unlearn my throttle wrist out of the 250 mode and get it into a larger bike mode. So that's basically it. That's what's happened, and I'm hopefully moving on from that and learning some lessons and doing things a little different.